You're back with another one. This time we got top 10 best Gintama anime fights by Vinny Tube Kai. If y'all like the video, comment, subscribe, and let's get into it. Before my heart gives out for some reason, I don't know what that was. It almost blew up.
When you think of Gintama,
I actually think this is mad loud for me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure this is a request. Close that before we get too deep into it. Oh yeah, there it is. Right there. Yeah. Oop, wrong thing. Let's get back to it.
we're bound to think of the crazy gags, endless shenanigans,
Let's
and
get
unrivaled
it.
wisecrackery of the show. But as much as it's comedy gold, Gintama's also a hard-hitting and an often shockingly brutal shonen anime with more than its fair share of amazing fights. With its samurais and space theme, the battle sequences feature a wide range of interesting weapons.
Now also, last time I did a Gintama like best fights, some fights get blocked, so there might be a few cuts in the video. So yeah, sorry about that. But the original video is gonna be in the description. I don't know how they get away with it. I can't get away with it. I don't know. I don't know.
Powers and fighting styles, and don't even mention the characters that come out to play, from aliens, yakuza, and drag queens to cops, pirates, and warriors of all stripes. In today's video on VidTube, we're paying tribute to the fighting spirit of Gintama by picking the anime's top 10 fights. Naturally, a spoiler alert is now in effect. Here we go. We start off strong with Gintoki versus Jirocho at number 10.
Dang, he pissed.
Taken from the 4 Devas arc, this is a short fight that doesn't mean it's any less compelling than the others. Our favourite silvered-haired samurai turned odd job man goes up against a veteran Yakuza boss who's out to make trouble in his beloved Kabuki district. The contest is both emotional and raw. Usually not one to give in to his emotions, we see Gintoki in a completely new light as he loses his cool and turns into a madman. The battle is also bittersweet, filled to the brim with the shared history between Gintoki and landlady Otose, as well as Otose and Jirocho's tragic past. It's a ferocious clash as both swordsmen refuse to back down, relentlessly trading blows and drawing blood. The touching graveyard setting and the striking similarities between Gintoki and Jirocho are yet more reasons why this fight has stood the test of time to remain even more memorable.
You know how painful that'd be? Getting stabbed through your forearm? Right through? I'm done. I'm not fighting no more. I'll be like, you got it, bro. I'm just taking the sword with me, going to the nearest hospital. Like, you got it, bro. You win. But let me hold that for a little bit. I'll send it back to you.
It doesn't take much for friends to turn into foes.
Wait, whoa, what?
In anime,
I was about to say, they literally was just fighting. What happened?
it doesn't take much for friends to turn into foes, and the opposite to happen as well. That brings us to number 9, where our former rivals Gintoki and Jirocho call a temporary truce and team up to fight the real villains of the 4 Devas arc. They are the Shinra, an elite squad of assassins from an alien tribe that's hell-bent on destroying planet Earth. Chaos ensues as Gin and Jirocho face a huge assembly of these human-like assassins in a closed room. Despite their status as members of one of the 3 great warrior races that make up the Amanto universe, the Shinra are no match for the samurai Yakuza pair who slice and dice them with gleeful menace. The villains do put up a fight and the 2 humans are covered in blood at the end of the battle, but one can hardly call it an even contest. Still, it's a hell of an entertaining slash fest, and it's great to see Gin and Jirocho have their own little contest during the massacre.
This got me thinking randomly, but wouldn't it be really cool if you were to fight somebody, like say you're a boxer and you're fighting somebody and they're just like, you know what, you got it, bro, you got it, and they're like, you got it too, and then they team up and start up a tag team boxing league. How you guys think that would go? How you guys think that would go? Tag team boxing. You just gotta pop, and then you're like, hey bro, you're in. Tag. Ref go, you're good. Tag team boxing. Same boxing rules apply. Elimination style too. When you can get out, you can rest, you can tag a teammate. And that'd be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Tag team boxing might be the next wave. I might be the founder of it. If someone steal this idea, I'm suing. I promise you, I'm going to get a copyright right now, this second. Don't you do it. Unless you Dana White, then tag team USC would be also pretty cool actually. So Dana, if you want this idea, hit me up. You got my Twitter down, down in the description. Go ahead and give me them royalties. I don't know if Dana White likes Gintama, but it'd be pretty cool.
The next spot goes to the cutest and craziest girl in Gintama, and that's saying a lot, seeing how the series is chock full of delightfully strong and absurd female characters.
Like her, she's nah. Purple hair is the craziest. I don't care what Kagura does.
Delightfully strong
Look
and
at her.
absurd female.
You see this? Look at her face. She's enjoying it too. She's a freak. She likes it.
Characters. But even in that crowd, Kagura is a cut above the rest. She's insanely strong due to her Yato heritage and yet refreshingly naive and kawaii. This is the fight that introduces us to Yato mode Kagura. It's intense to begin with, but really comes to life once Kagura gives into her alien blood. To watch her transformation is painful and thrilling in equal parts. Painful because she's driven to this state, and we all know that she just wants to live as a normal girl. Thrilling because we've always wanted to see the killing machine potential in her. Kagura's opponent is Abuto, a fellow Yato and her estranged brother Kamui's subordinate. Despite being plenty strong, he gets the beatdown of a lifetime. But what haunts our minds throughout the battle is not the bone-crushing blows, but the wild eyes and crazed smile on Kagura's face. That's one little girl you just don't mess with.
Yeah, honestly, look at that. She's insane.
And now it's time to play some Zura rap, because coming in at number 7 is our favorite bickering couple. Gintoki and Katsura show us what chemistry is all about when they get down to business against the Harusame. Former comrades at war, Gin and Zura are a comic pair who make us laugh so hard that it hurts every time they share screen space. But the lazy odd jobber and the oddball revolutionary can make a mean fighting pair when the need arises. Just watch them cut through the Harusame and you'll know. Now what's great about this fight is not the skilled swordplay, the effortless teamwork, or even the body count, all of which is there. What really elevates this battle is Gin and Katsura's special bond. It's fun to see the two constantly bickering and telling each other off even amid battle. It's even better to see them have a real heart-to-heart moment in the heat of the battle, something they'd cringe away from at any other time. In true Zura fashion, the battle ends not in boring victory, but a cheeky escape, which is really the icing on the cake. That brings us to the 6th spot, where we have Gintoki versus Jiraiya.
They really should be name dropping like it's nothing. Like they don't fear copyright. But they're smart about it at least. They won't get shut down for it. I think you can legally name somebody in the show.
It might be one of Gintama's more
if I say
underrated
Vegeta, I'm not
fights,
getting
but
sued,
it's also
probably.
one of its most vividly choreographed and visualized masterpieces. It also happens to be very well fought, but I guess that's to be expected when you pit a skilled samurai against an elite ninja. The clash between sword and kunai makes for a pleasant change from the usual war machinery seen in this series. Jiraiya's adept use of strings and illusions gives the contest an otherworldly feel, while his battle-ravaged appearance and views are thoroughly disconcerting to witness. But apart from the excellent action, what this encounter has in great big doses is heart. Gintoki not only fights Jiraiya to defeat him, but is also successful in forcing him to face up to the fact that he failed Tsukuyo as her master. At the same time, Jiraiya pushes Gintoki to remember his own beloved mentor too. The Red Spider arc might not be one of Gintama's most significant, but this battle deserves its vaunted rank thanks to its intense action, important backstories, and honorable end for a twisted yet tragic villain. We're at the halfway mark now, and raising the stakes up several notches, we have Utsuro versus Umibo.
Did he just... Is that a robot?
We're at the halfway mark now, and raising the stakes
Is he Android?
several notches.
Dr. Gero? What's going on here?
We have Utsuro versus Umibos at number 5. It doesn't get any bigger than this. The former is an immensely powerful immortal and the series' main antagonist who's on a mission of destruction. The latter happens to be the Yato's top elite and the galaxy's greatest guardian. The Battle of the Titans has a rather interesting origin. Utsuro nonchalantly walks in on one of Umibos' fights and forces him to be his opponent, seemingly in a bid to find someone strong enough to kill his immortal self. Now, that's what you would call confidence, right? He doesn't get his wish, even if he does get a close taste of death. One can say that the brief battle between Utsuro and Umibos is more of a chance encounter than a fated contest that the series has been warming up to for a long time. But as Gintama fans, we're sure as hell happy that we get to see the series' 2 most powerful characters have their moment in the sand. Up next, Gamui takes on the Yorozuya trio and
Just dang. So it's an immortal versus a cyborg? Like, is that what's going on here? Or there? Not here, there, in that last one?
Buto.
This is actually one of the few fights I've actually seen.
Rage after his unfinished battle with his father Umibos, Kamui unleashes his fury on Gintoki, Kagura, Shinpachi, and even Abuto, who joins the odd job crew as they try to bring Kamui back to his senses. Despite his youthful appearance that greatly resembles Kagura's and a smile that rarely leaves his face, Kamui is a battle-hungry mercenary. He revels in violence to the point that he's made it his mission to kill his father and inherit the title of the strongest Yato. But he's also a scarred character, carrying the wounds of a tragic childhood he hasn't been able to let go of. Despite her outward animosity towards Kamui, Kagura desperately wishes to save his soul. That's what this battle is all about, an intervention by Kagura and her friends to save Kamui from himself. The self-destruction Kamui doesn't make it easy for them, giving into his Yato blood and coming close to killing all three of them and Abuto. You might break out in a cold sweat watching this emotionally charged fight, but the ending will have you feeling all warm and fuzzy inside.
I guess it does make sense that he's a cyborg because the amount of times that I've seen somebody lose an arm or a leg or something, they probably got some like prosthetics in this show. There's been too many limbs being flown off and reattached and stuff I've seen. Maybe not reattached, but I just assume they've been reattached.
Another one versus many battle makes the third rank on this list.
Much more comfortable.
Utsuro is a single-man army as he takes on the combined might of the Yorozuya trio, the entire Shinsengumi force, and Kamui, and still comes out on top. Nothing smells last boss like a character who's not only incapable of dying or taking damage, but is also an extremely capable fighter, an expert strategist, and intent on bringing devastation wherever he goes.
He's got a cannon for an arm now. I just don't understand this character. I need to do some research. Who is he? Why is he a robot?
And that pretty much sums up Utsuro.
And wearing a pilot's helmet.
With his fighting prowess, Utsuro brings the entire alliance to their knees with little effort at all. He's malicious enough to enjoy stabbing himself just so his blade can pierce his opponent too. While his powerful Aldana-infused mutant blood makes him superior to every one of his opponents, Utsuro has another great weapon up his sleeve. That's his appearance, which bears a striking resemblance to Yoshida Shoyo, Gintoki's kind-hearted master, who just so happens to be one of Utsuro's alter egos. This one-sided contest makes it clear as day why Utsuro is the only one who deserves to be the series' final antagonist and its hero's greatest nemesis.
You know, I'm actually more concerned why he's wearing a pilot's helmet than why he's a cyborg. I think that's very much my only concern actually.
No points for guessing the next fight, which is the final battle between Utsuro and Gintoki. Unlike in their first encounter, here we get to see a calmer, much more decisive Gintoki, but the change isn't only on his side. Utsuro has also taken a huge gamble, which makes him more vulnerable than ever before, but also closer to fulfilling his goal of destroying the universe and himself along with it. The stakes are as high as they could possibly get. The swordplay is epic and worthy of a summit clash in every way. The dialogue and mind games are top-notch too. The sound of silence that breaks the action every now and then is just masterful, and the setting sun that paints this fated encounter in a golden light is a subtle reminder that it's not just the two adversaries who are finally reaching closure. It's also the end of our long journey with this beloved anime. Utsuro versus Gintoki is not just an excellent good versus evil battle, but a fitting send-off to an epic series that made us laugh and cry in equal measure.
The show looks so good.
And that brings us to number 1, which is Gintoki versus Takasugi. If you've read the online discussions on the greatest fights and rivalries in Gintama, this is the one that's always right on top of the pile, and for good reason too. Since the early days, Gintama's hyped up Takasugi as a top-tier villain, and while he doesn't end up as the final antagonist, he pretty much gets a fight deserving of one. Adding loads of atmosphere to the clash is also the rich and complicated history that the two men share. Gintoki and Takasugi were both taken in as children and raised by Yoshida Shoyo, but an unexpected turning point in their lives tears their friendship apart, turning them into lifelong rivals. rivals. In their epic final clash, the series fully embraces its shonen side. There are no quiet moments or internal battles here. It's just one relentless slugfest from beginning to end as metal clashes with wood, and there are fountains of blood as far as the eye can see. The former comrades give in to all the frustrations they've been holding onto for years, making this one gloriously guttural and gory brawl that also deserves a spot amongst the top shonen brawls of all time.
That's the strongest wooden sword in history. It's probably from the World Tree, honestly.
Well, that brings...
That was good. I liked it. I liked it. I liked it. Both comedy and action is very good. Yeah, number 1 and 2 is just more than a fight. Kentucky versus Kentucky. All right, I'm over here butchering words. I'm gonna get out of here. I hope y'all enjoy. Make sure y'all like the video, comment, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.